Daniel faced danger, and he kept on steady. And then in chapter 3, there's like threat, like intentional pressure, imposed threat. You will bow down. This is his friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So these kind of things can press us to conform. It's interesting that the first one is really opportunity. Let's read about it in Daniel chapter 1. Here's a young man, apparently intelligent. If they picked, the cream of the crop that were going to get well taught in the literature and the instruction of Babylon. And Babylon was the premier civilization of the day. They had the best universities, for sure. It was the Ivy League, if you will, to use that kind of our terminology. So he was getting the treatment, He was going to develop into being a leader in society because he was going to be well taught. He was given all kinds of opportunities. He was given good food. People are attracted by food, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Right? They're like, ooh, if I can dine with the greats and eat the great food, will that change my actions and reactions? Or is that going to modify whether I'm going to be obedient to the Lord or not? Am I going to be given over to success at any cost? Success. I'm going to pursue success to the extent that I'm going to have to let some things go. I'm going to let some obediences go because I won't be successful if I'm going to hang on to those things. They won't fit in well with the pressures around me. As we think about Daniel, it's great to also see that in his faithfulness, he had such a confidence in his God that he could even cooperate with authorities that had taken him exile. He's going to ask in chapter 1 to eat different food. And the authority at first isn't real thrilled with that idea. He's scared for his own neck. And Daniel could cooperate with that. In other words, he was obedient to the Lord, but there was a patience in that obedience. I found that so interesting to think about. What enables a person to be like that? That they're not just gruff and demanding, for they're obeying the Lord, right? It's not just demanding for my will, it's demanding for God's will. He had a patience in seeing that through in time to ask, could you maybe try it out? And what happened there? Well, the people that were watching this situation develop, came away instructed, didn't they? They came away instructed about Daniel's God. Oh, Daniel's God. He's got something there, I'm just trying to say it in simple words, right? Because it's not like they got converted necessarily, but they certainly came away with an impression about Daniel's God. All right, let's read in chapter 1 of Daniel. Daniel 1, verse 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord handed Jehoiakim, king of Judah, over to him, along with some of the vessels of the house of God. And he brought them to the land of Shinar, to the house of his God, and he brought the vessels into the treasuries of his God. Then the king told Ashpenaz, the chief of his officials, to bring in some of the sons of Israel, including some of the royal family and of the nobles, youths in whom there was no impairment, who were good-looking, suitable for instruction in every kind of expertise, endowed with understanding and discerning knowledge, and who had ability to serve in the king's court. And he ordered Ashpenaz to teach them the literature and language of the Chaldeans. The king also allotted for them a daily ration from the king's choice food and from the wine which he drank, and ordered that they be educated for 3 years, at the end of which they were to enter the king's personal service. Now among them, from the sons of Judah, were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Then the commander of the officials assigned new names to them. And to Daniel he assigned the name Belteshazzar, to Hananiah, Shadrach, and to Mishael, Meshach, and to Azariah, Abednego. But Daniel made up his mind, purposed in his heart, that he would not defile himself with the king's choice food, or with the wine which he drank. So he sought permission from the commander of the officials, that he might not defile himself. Now God granted Daniel favor and compassion in the sight of the commander of the officials. Look at verse 14. So he listened to them, the commander of the officials, in this matter, and put them to the test for 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their appearance seemed better, and they were fatter than all the youths who had been eating the king's choice food. So the overseer continued to withhold their choice food and the wine that they were to drink, and kept giving them vegetables. And as for these 4 youths, God gave them knowledge and intelligence in every kind of literature and expertise. Daniel even understood all kinds of visions and dreams. Daniel was able to cooperate with this commander of the officials in allowing him to obey the Lord because of Daniel's confidence in the Lord, that the Lord was indeed sovereign. If the Lord is sovereign, that should lend to stability in me, shouldn't it? If the Lord is indeed over everything, including Ashpenaz, he can give favor. Let's just try this for 10 days. The Lord can work that out, can't he? And so the effect of knowing my God and his character, that he is sovereign, he is mighty, he's capable, he's reliable, that should have the effect on me that I'm stable. May the Lord help me. Are we always stable? It says in, and I qualify as this older man of Titus 2, I realize. It says one of the attributes of the desire of older men is they be temperate. They be temperate, right? They're even keel, if you will, right? There's some ballast in their life because they have a relationship that is well developed with the Lord that gives them a stability because they know their God. Now I'm alluding to the verse in Daniel 11 where it says the people that know their God, right? Daniel 11:32. The people that know their God. It has an effect in how we go about life, and it had an effect in